The Supreme Court has ordered an investigation into the massive security breach in Prime Minister Narendra Modi's security in Punjab on the 5th of January. The investigation panel will be headed by a retired Supreme Court judge. Its members will include officers of the National Investigation Agency, the Punjab Police and the Chandigarh Police. Even as the matter was before the apex court, several advocates on record received a threat call, reportedly from a US-based Sikh separatist organization, warning the Supreme Court against hearing the breach in Prime Minister's security. Anisha Mathur with our top story.
Shocking visuals of the Prime Minister getting stranded on a flyover in pole-bound Punjab. Just 10 kilometers from Pakistan border, putting him in direct range of Pak artillery. What followed was a series of blame game over who blundered and what went wrong. Centre locking horns with Punjab, and now the Supreme Court has taken matters into its hands, ending competitive probes and nixing show-cause notices. Forming a probe panel under a retired Supreme Court judge, the Chandigarh DGP, Inspector General of NIA, ADGP Security Punjab, along with the Registrar General of High Court will be the part of the panel. The hearing witnessed high drama as the centre and Punjab locked horns. The Punjab Government Council saw politics behind centre's show-cause notice to state officials, asserting it has no faith in the centre's action.
अच्छा है कि डेमोक्रेटिक सिस्टम में जो हाई कोर्ट सिस्टम है साथ जोड़ा हुआ, ये अच्छा है, नहीं तो डिक्टेटरशिप हो जाती है। मोदी जी डिक्टेटर बनकर दिखाना चाहते थे, लेकिन हाई कोर्ट ने कह दिया नहीं, ऐसा नहीं है, हम भी यहाँ हैं। तो उन्होंने उनकी और हमारी दोनों कमेटियां बंद करके अपना सुप्रीम कोर्ट के रिटायर्ड जज से जो इंक्वायरी करानी है, अच्छी बात है, वी वेलकम।
The centre hit back, accusing the Punjab government of shielding officials directly responsible for breaching the NSG Blue Book on Prime Minister's security, revealing that crowds were allowed to reach 100 meters from the Prime Minister. The Supreme Court mandated high-level probe will finally stop the buck in the Prime Minister's security breach case and fix responsibility for the shocking lapses.
The court has said that there will be a stay on the inquiry that was initiated by the central government into the lapses conducted by the Punjab government. Both governments have pointed fingers at each other, but now with the Supreme Court committee in play, it remains to be seen what comes out after the inquiry. In New Delhi, this is Anisha Mathur for India Today.
Now, a threat call to Supreme Court advocates on record happened this morning. Politics over the breach in Prime Minister Narendra Modi's security escalated. Now, look at what happened here in the Supreme Court. Several advocates on record said they'd received a threat call warning the Supreme Court not to hear this case. Let's listen in to some of the advocates. Anisha Mathur with this report.
आज सुबह 10:30 बजे करीब और 12:30 बजे करीब दो कॉल्स मुझे आए हैं यूनाइटेड किंगडम के नंबर से, और वो रिकॉर्डेड वॉइस कॉल्स थे जिसमें ये बोला जा रहा था कि सुप्रीम कोर्ट जजेस रिफ्रेन करें अपने आप को ये पिटीशन सुनने से जो पीएम मोदी की कैवलकेड को ब्लॉक किया गया है, और उस मैसेज में ये भी कहा जा रहा था कि वो जिम्मेदारी लेते हैं पीएम मोदी के कैवलकेड को ब्लॉक करने की। तो मैं रिक्वेस्ट करूंगा माननीय गृह मंत्री जी से कि इस चीज का संज्ञान लें, और मेरी तरह सुप्रीम कोर्ट के कई एडवोकेट ऑन रिकॉर्ड्स को ऐसे कॉल आए हैं।
On a day that the apex court heard the Prime Minister's security breach matter, several lawyers of the Supreme Court also received a call from an automated UK number which claims to have been a message from the Sikhs for Justice organization. This banned organization has claimed responsibility for the massive breach in the Prime Minister's security and the blockade that has led to this massive political fallout in India. The message that was given out to the lawyers via this automated call also said that the Supreme Court should not favor the Indian Prime Minister against the farmers, and that the court has not taken any action against the perpetrators of the 1984 Sikh genocide. The Supreme Court Advocates on Record Association has sent a complaint regarding these calls to the Secretary General's office, and it is expected that some action will be taken regarding these calls very soon. In New Delhi, with cameraman Nasir, this is Anisha Mathur for India Today.
So a threat call to Supreme Court advocates on record, politics over a breach in Prime Minister Narendra Modi's security, and almost a week after the incident, there is only talk of an investigation instead of action against those who are responsible. Has politics stooped to such a low in India that the Supreme Court will discuss breach in PM security before action is taken against those responsible? Till then, will chinks remain in India's armour? Joining me on India First, Gurdeep Sapal represents the Congress party on the show. RP Singh represents the BJP. Dr. Vikram Singh is former DGP of the Uttar Pradesh Police. RP Singh.
Good evening.
Even today, Punjab Chief Minister Charanjit Singh asked what was the threat to the Prime Minister's life? Where was the threat with 6,000 security personnel plus the Intelligence Bureau and the SPG?
Gaurav, there's the problem. There's a new law in Indian politics, and I'm sorry to say this started with some time back with Mamata Banerjee doing it in her state. Now it has been copied by the Punjab government under the instruction of the party bosses. Because otherwise, why was the Chief Minister, the Chief Secretary, the DGP missing to receive the Prime Minister? It's part of his responsibility to receive the Prime Minister. It's a government function which Prime Minister was going there. But he made excuse, some pretext that one of his colleagues had a corona, so he didn't turn up. But the fact is, when the this cavalcade was stuck, that 20 minutes SPG was calling, at that very same time, he was giving an interview without a mask to a Punjabi channel. This on record, we can see that also, the timing is there. And also thereafter, he didn't wear a mask, he was meeting people and without any, not taking off from his duty. So it's clearly a game plan which happened. There's something bigger which happened, and it's not merely that they escaped their duty. It was intentionally being done. God knows when inquiry happens, the objective will come out. What is the reason?
That's a very serious charge. What you're saying is that Punjab, the Congress government in Punjab intentionally risked Prime Minister Narendra Modi's life.
3 points in 5 seconds. Another 3 points in 5 seconds. The place where the cavalcade got stuck is an overbridge. Someone could have put a detector under the bridge. That place is 10 kilometers away from the border. It's not me, Manish Tiwari saying. And both Pakistan and India has artillery which can hit 35 kilometers inside the border. The people who were brought to stop the cavalcade is on record. The leader of the Surjit Singh police on record saying that we were told by police that Prime Minister is going to pass by this. And that's why we came here. We were going to DM office. We were told by police the PM will pass by. So we came here.
Sir, that's a very grave charge. Grave charge.
Yes,
let's take it step by step. Let's take it step by step. Gurdeep Sapal, hold on, RP Singh. Hold on. UP Chief Minister Mr. Sapal, Yogi Adityanath has accused the Congress party of politics of negativity on a very sensitive issue like the Prime Minister's security. He says it's because of this negativity, Congress has come to such low numbers in the state and the country, and it's intentionally, as RP Singh and the BJP puts it, risking the Prime Minister's life ahead of elections.
I think what Mr. RP Singh said and other BJP leaders are saying, exactly the same thing was said in Supreme Court by Solicitor General today. And what was the response of Supreme Court to them? They simply asked, Justice Suryakant asked, who held them guilty? Who held Punjab DGP and Chief Secretary guilty? This is what Supreme Court said. This is what we are saying. Punjab has already requested Supreme Court for an inquiry. Supreme Court has accepted it. And today also, when Solicitor General went round and round in Supreme Court trying to pin any blame on Punjab government, Supreme Court judge said that this is not expected of you. And I think this message should go down to entire BJP leadership that there's an inquiry pending. Do not trivialize the case. Do not trivialize the lapse. Do not try to do politics out of it. Try to do serious investigation. This is what Supreme Court gave message. And I must tell you, in your introductory remarks, you said that Supreme Court, till it inquires, the things will remain. No, I think we have a government of India in place. We have a home ministry in place. That home ministry by now should have done its homework and plugged wherever the gaps were there. This is the duty of the home ministry. And today, if advocate on record, they got some calls, some threatening calls, what is home ministry doing? We have an Indian cyber coordination center with 14 agencies and then NIA. What are they doing? Today, after 15, 16 hours, what is the status? Please, RP Singh ji, tell me. This is how you are dealing with internal security, that anybody can call up and certain lawyers in Supreme Court, anybody can say anything outside the court, and Supreme Court Chief Justice and other senior judges say that who held them guilty? Do you have an answer to this? Just because you have taken a position that there was a guilt of DG and Chief Secretary or Punjab government, it doesn't, the court also doesn't agree to that.
Okay.
Please wait for investigation. Please do not do politics with the lapse which has happened.
We are the world's largest democracy, and the Prime Minister of the world's largest democracy was vulnerable for 20 long minutes on a flyover. State Chief Minister says, where was the threat? Has the Prime Minister's security, Dr. Vikram Singh, been reduced to a farce, a joke in our country, in an election-bound state?
Gauravji, the less said the better. Where ignorance is bliss, 'tis folly to be wise. The honorable political friends have said that was a stone hurled at him. Did the stone hit the Prime Minister? Was he hit by a bullet? He must learn to understand that as per the ingredients of law, if the ingredients are complete, the crime is also complete. It is not for the person to complete the crime and achieve his target. But if the ingredients are over, then the crime is complete. And to that extent, the crime is complete. What to talk of giving the 10,000 police personnel? The Punjab police is the best, as I have no doubt in my mind. But the leadership failed the constabulary and the lower ranks because those constabulary were sipping tea with the agitators. This is just not acceptable in a VVIP duty and a bandobast. The constabulary and those on duty are not even supposed to go anywhere but to be steadfast like a rock at the appointed place till there is an all clear. Till the all clear is not there, they're not even supposed to go and mingle with the crowds. Okay. And as one esteemed panelist said, that they were also privy to the information that this information about the Prime Minister's cavalcade passing along a particular route was also passed on to the agitators. If this is not a major misdemeanor and a lapse, then what is? Again,
a misdemeanor of far more serious than a misdemeanor. It could have cost the Prime Minister his life. RP Singh, Priyanka Gandhi Vadra, in an exclusive interview to India Today, said she understands the pain of a security lapse. She has, after all, lost her father to a security breach and her grandmother in her own house. Now, a probe will reveal the truth, says the Congress. They're accusing the BJP of trying to take political advantage of the situation in elections in 5 states, sir.
Gaurav, this could have settled had the Chief Minister picked up the call during the 20 crucial minutes. That's the basic reason for the suspicion. The dereliction of duty is one part. On the part of the Chief Minister, Chief Secretary, DGP, that's one part. DGP giving a clearance to the route is another part. But I don't really seriously see Channi. I mean, I don't see him capable of doing all such things. There is someone else who is doing it by remote control. He's just a puppet obeying the command. And other way, Sidhu has been boasting in public meetings. हमने भेजा प्रधानमंत्री को वापस, हमने मोदी को, पंजाब के लोगों ने मोदी को वापस भेज दिया. What a shame on Punjabiyat. Man says हमने मोदी को वापस भेज दिया. Punjabis are known for welcoming guests, even if it's an enemy. We welcome them. And he's boasting it for a reason. He's boasting it catering to a certain vote bank, which is radical vote bank. The set of people who are called the people in Supreme Court, the lawyers in Supreme Court, is linked to that. He's catering to that mindset in Punjab today for small vote bank, some small tiny percent of vote bank.
That's again a serious charge. Let me take this to Mr. Sapal, Gurdeep Sapal. Respond to RP Singh. Also respond to Manish Tiwari, former Information and Broadcasting Minister and Congress Party MP, who says that the fact that the Prime Minister was stranded on a flyover for over 20 minutes merits an investigation. In your appreciation, is the Charanjit Singh Channi government mocking the serious security breach, asking where was the threat, not a pebble was hurled?
I think what Manish Tiwari said, or what Punjab government said, or what all the spokespersons are saying on television is one and the same thing, that there was a lapse which needs to be investigated. Beyond that, to attribute motives of murdering or doing harm to Prime Minister of India to a legitimate government, a government which has been chosen by people, which is sworn by the Constitution of India, where a responsible government exists in a state. What RP
That's why
Singh
he
ji is
took the
saying
call.
that this government was conspiring against the life of Prime Minister. I think you are the ruling party. You should be aware of what you are saying. You should be aware of what you are insinuating against the sitting chief minister.
That's
Will you
the points to make.
will you be able to prove it tomorrow?
No, but why
That's
didn't you
the
pick up
point
the
to
phone?
Are you
Why
saying-
didn't the
are you
DGP
saying
pick up
that
the
chief
phone? These are
ministers of
serious
this-
charges.
Are you
Okay,
saying-
RP Singh, quickly
No.
respond. I have 1 minute on the show.
Is RP Singh ji saying
Very,
that
very
chief
small
ministers
3
of the
points.
states
Why
are conspiring
was he
to...
missing from the cavalcade of the Prime Minister, the 3 key people in
Please
the state?
wait for inquiry.
Secondly,
This is
why
what I
didn't they
said.
took the
You
call
are not
when the
security
SPG
expert.
and the Home Ministry was calling them? Thirdly, who pushed Sujit Singh full to block the cavalcade?
But
Let me answer-
Dr.
let me
Vikram
answer
Singh,
about
Dr. Vikram Singh,
Arey, suno,
these
sir,
are
let me
very,
answer
very
about these.
serious
This is a
issues.
Masloni
Very,
party
very
now.
serious issues.
This is a
Gaurav,
Masloni
let
party.
me answer about
If you
Sujit Singh full now.
If we can't
No,
dislodge your
I have
opponent,
last 30
other
seconds and I
means.
want to quickly bring in Dr. Vikram Singh. Dr.
Yeah.
Vikram Singh,
Gaurav,
is this making a
Gaurav,
mockery
let me
of the
answer
Prime
about
Minister's security?
Mr. Full.
Should the Prime Minister's, should the Supreme Court monitored investigation also be in a time-bound manner? And what happens to the Prime Minister's security next time he travels in an opposition-ruled state? How does one
Absolutely.
ensure foolproof security? Unless you bring in
Absolutely,
central
Gauravji.
forces now.
Absolutely, Gauravji. The security of the Prime Minister has to be absolutely fail-proof, foolproof and invincible. And these allegations and counter-allegations are not doing any good to any one of them. And certainly, India is a loser in this case and Pakistan must be having a whale of a time. And it is time that we audited and upgraded our security concerns and reinforced the security of the Prime Minister. Prime Minister also happens to be a duly elected Prime Minister. He has not descended from Pakistan or China. Let us not make no mistake
Also,
about
the
that.
fact, I shudder to think if SPG, SOPs come out in public domain in Supreme Court, if all of that, Pakistan wanted to know how SPG protects our Prime Minister. India said, no, we will not share that information with you. God forbid, if this information now comes out in public domain,
Please,
as
let me respond to
IB
this.
operations had come out in public domain in Ishrat Jahan case, God forbid, are we playing with our national
What are the
security?
long-term ramifications?
Are we playing with India's national security and, Congress, BJP?
Please let me respond to this.
Sir, I've run out of time on this part of the show, but we will track the
please
story
have
very
faith in
closely.
Supreme Court of India that it will not run down the
Mr.
security
Sapal, you present
procedures of this
Masloni
country.
party.
Sir, do refer to Ishrat Jahan investigations and what happened with IB standard operating procedures. A quick break. Omicron impact on airlines and hotel industry. All that and much more. Business Today with Abha Bakaya coming up.